So now it's time to answer your nutritional questions, and we have on with us the lovely Lily Soutter. Welcome to the show, Lily.
Hello.
So we've got a few questions for you, Lily, and I'm also quite curious about the first one actually, because it's something that I was also wondering about. So this viewer is saying, I'm really confused about the different things I read and hear about cow's milk. Some nutritionists say that whole cow's milk is good for you. Others say that only organic cow's milk is safe because the cows are healthy. And others say neither organic or non-organic milk is good for you because we are the only mammals to drink the milk of another mammal, and that's not healthy. And then I'm hearing that goat's milk is really good. Please help, I just want to choose the healthiest option.
So there is a lot of confusion around dairy and milk, and it obviously doesn't help with things like the media and headlines, doing lots of sort of extreme headlines around dairy and the safety of it as well. So in general, milk is extremely nourishing to the body. It comes with a lot of calcium. It's one of our main sources of calcium within the diet. Calcium is really, really essential for bone health and teeth. It's also a source of things like B vitamins, which help to convert the food we eat into energy. And protein as well, which is essential for it is essential for bone health, but also for growth, for development, and the growth and maintenance of muscle mass as well. So it's a source of lots of nutrients, and I guess where some confusion lies as to whether we should be having whole milk or we should be going for low-fat milk. And my opinion is there's pros and cons of both. So if you look at full fat milk, the whole milk, it's going to be different from low fat milk in the fact that it actually comes with the additional fat soluble vitamins such as vitamin A and vitamin D. And vitamin D actually works synergistically with calcium to support bone health. You need both of those nutrients. It actually helps to absorb calcium from the gut. So that's where you get the benefit. The other benefit lies actually just in the fact that it's a higher fat product. Fat has got satiating effects, so it can help to almost keep us fuller for longer in a way. But then the downside is obviously a lot of the fat is saturated fats. And if you are having a diet which is extremely high in saturated fats, not necessarily just from dairy, but from other sort of animal products, you could be going over your daily limit. Saturated fat is associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. There's a bit of murky waters around dairy and that, but what I would say is if you have a diet which isn't too high in fat anyway, whole milk is absolutely fine.
What about organic or non-organic?
Organic. So when we look at organic milk, there's sort of two areas to focus on. I guess the first one, which people fear, is sort of antibiotic use with the cows. And we do know with organic milk that you can't give antibiotics as a preventative tool ongoing. It's only given to those cows as and when is needed, basically. So we've got very stringent and tight regulations within the UK of non-organic milk in terms of antibiotic use. So it's not something to be too fearful of. The difference lies with the nutrient content of the milk. So because that cow is sort of fed different types of feeds, it's mostly consuming its food from the grass. It's actually been shown to have a higher quantity of healthy omega-3 fats, but also things like iron as well within the milk. So it's got different ratios of vitamins and minerals.
And what do you think of goat's milk?
It doesn't have any specific benefits in comparison to cow's milk. However, some people can digest goat's milk in a better way if they struggle with cow's milk, purely because it could be something to do with the fats and the protein within goat's milk, but it doesn't mean it's any less allergenic as in comparison to cow's milk.
All right, brilliant. Just going to whiz to the other question, then if we've got time, we'll do the other one about milk, Lily. This person saying, I've been hearing that water in plastic bottles is not good for you. Am I better off buying a water filter and filtering my normal tap water instead?
Okay, so again, there's lots of confusion around water and water bottles. The main concern is the chemicals found in the plastic of water bottles, and the fear is that some chemicals can leach out into the water, specifically chemicals like bisphenol A and dioxins, and the fear is that they could impact human health. So there was a big review conducted in 2015 to suggest that this bisphenol A doesn't actually have a negative effect on human health in terms of our current exposure. Again, any sort of plastic which is used within the UK in terms of any kind of food product or liquids is tightly regulated in terms of the chemicals that are used. So our exposure to these chemicals are well below the threshold.
Right.
But if you have concerns, or if anyone has concerns over chemicals found in plastics, you can actually buy water bottles which are bisphenol A free. I actually have one at home, and you can even get ones with little filters in, and it's good for the environment, obviously, because you're reusing that water bottle.
And would you take your normal tap water and
tap water, and we're very lucky in the UK to have safe, healthy sort of tap water to drink, really.
So you just pour that into these bottles and it filters?
And it just filters them. You've got a little filter in the middle, and you just carry it around with you.
And do you have to keep changing the filter?
Not really, I don't think so. Not that I haven't changed my filter in a while.
I might find out about that. Okay, brilliant. Oh, I'll definitely do that one. Okay, we've got time for one last one, Lily. Again, about cow's milk. Well, actually changing. I'm trying to switch from cow's milk to plant-based milk, and I'm considering almond milk. However, all the big brand names seem to contain added ingredients and things like emulsifiers, which I know aren't good for you. Can you please advise?
Really depends on why you're switching to the milk alternative. So one thing I didn't cover before, but obviously skimmed milk is very low in fat, and that's one reason why people would choose skimmed milk. The same does go, I guess, for plant-based milks as well. They are much lower in fat. But it depends on why you're going for that milk. If it's just for health reasons, it doesn't necessarily come with additional health benefits. If it's for ethical reasons or for allergies or intolerances, obviously, it's your only choice to go for sort of more plant-based milks. And what I would suggest looking out for is looking at the bottle and seeing, is it fortified with nutrients such as calcium, vitamin D and B12? Because as soon as we exclude a whole food group from our diet, such as dairy, which is a big food group, you are instantly removing a big source of these key vitamins and minerals, which are required for health. And a lot of the more expensive milks, interestingly, tend to not be fortified with these key vitamins and minerals, which is just interesting when you go into specialist health food shops. So always look on the pack, is it fortified with those vitamins and minerals? And you can get some milks which don't have these emulsifiers in, but a lot of the time they do need them.
Okay, and it's not too harmful, are they? Or?
Not harmful, no. No,
okay,
not too harmful.
Brilliant. All right. Lily, that's all we've got time for.
Thank
you
you
so much. Really interesting. And we'll see you again very soon.
Yes, see you soon.
Thank you.